Hey everyone, and welcome back to Don't Open That Door. I am Justin, the candy cane.
I'm Nico, the gingerbread man.
I'm Dan, the Yule lad.
Aw.
And from us here at DOTD to you listeners, we hope you're having a great Christmas/holiday season. And we've got a treat for you guys today. We're going to be reviewing the 2015 Krampus movie. Directed by Michael Dougherty, it stars MJ Anthony as Max Engel. We've got Toni Collette as Sarah Engel, Adam Scott, who you might know from Parks and Rec, as Tom Engel. We've got Stefania Levy Owen as Beth Engel, and Krista Stadler as Omi. So this movie opens with the Engel family. That's Max, his mother and father, Tom and Sarah, his sister Beth, and grandmother Omi. Now, Max is a very strong believer in Christmas and Santa Claus, and he wants nothing more than to have a happy Christmas with his family.
Aw.
In reality, though, things are not so nice.
Aw.
His sister is disconnected kind of from him and the family. His parents have some kind of marital issues. And on top of that, his extended family are coming to visit, and no one really likes them. Especially when they arrive, their arrival just kind of brings a whole load of chaos, including having his private letter to Santa Claus read out loud at the dinner table. Now, this, obviously causes some comments once again, and it causes him to exclaim that he wishes his family could just go away. And later that night, in a fit of anger, Max tears up his letter that he was going to send to Santa Claus.
Womp womp.
Well, go ahead, Nico. What happens from there? Because I want to know.
Can you show me?
No, you can tell me, though.
Oh, well, someone didn't see Tarzan. The next morning, the family awakens to a massive blizzard that appears to have cut off the power and the phone lines. And the family, given that there's a massive fucking blizzard, can't see any activity from their neighbors. So Beth decides to be a adventurous pioneer and check on her boyfriend, who lives a couple of blocks down. So Beth starts making her way downtown, walking fast. Snowflakes pass, and she's boyfriend bound. But she gets attacked by some kind of creature, and she gets murked.
Unfortunate, but how are things back at the house, Dan?
So back at Ye Old House, Beth's family starts to get worried because she hasn't come back yet. She was supposed to be back within an hour, and it's been way longer than that. So Tom, who's the father, and his brother-in-law end up going outside to look for Beth, and they are also attacked. And Tom ends up saving his brother-in-law from being dragged underneath the snow and sort of taken down to wherever. So they head back to the house, and they end up telling the family what happened, and the people kind of start freaking out. So they board up all the windows, and they bunker down for the night. But a gingerbread monster actually steals one of the children from the fireplace, kind of comes down the fireplace, steals one of the children, and leaves the house.
So at this point in time, the movie really starts to, kick off. Omi tells the family that they're being basically attacked by Krampus, which is a demonic Christmas creature. And don't worry, dear listeners, we're going to get more into Krampus in just a little bit. But for the time being, the family doubts her. And, afterwards, a whole bunch of demonic Christmas creatures, including an evil Jack-in-the-Box, bad gingerbread men, and elves from hell all attack them. The family kind of tries to fight them off, and they even manage to escape the house. But Omi actually stays behind to confront Krampus.
Oh, wow.
It isn't really effective, but
Oh.
Omi still confronts Krampus.
Oh. Well.
So what happens, Nico?
So then the family members start to drop like flies until Max and his cousin are the only ones left. Now, the aforementioned elves from hell, they go out and they steal away Max's cousin and take her to a hellish sort of fiery pit in the ground with Krampus and the Jack-in-the-Box demon. So at this point, the demons throw Max's cousin literally just down a hole to hell. And then Max, in a last-ditch effort to try and save the day, he confronts Krampus in a really sweet and heartfelt scene. He goes, take her. I mean, no, take her. Take me instead of her. Could you fucking imagine? And he says, I just wanted it to be a happy Christmas. And there's a second where it looks like everything's going to be okay, but then Krampus just goes Lamau and yeets him into hell.
But the movie has a happy ending, right, Dan?
Yeah, so kind of next scene, cut scene, and now Max actually wakes up on Christmas morning, and the whole movie has been a bad dream. So he opens gifts to his family, and they start to hear echoes of their statements from earlier in the movie. And when Max opens his gift, he sees a Krampus bell. And we then realize that the family is actually stuck in a snow globe among many others in Krampus's possession. So the movie was not actually a dream, and they are in the possession of Krampus.
What an ending. And we'll certainly talk about it. But before that, let's get to some personal highlight of mine from this movie, the visuals. I'm going to lead here and I'm going to say, well done. Well done on the visuals. I particularly got to give it up for the costume design. I think Krampus looks amazing. The elves from hell look like hellish elves. And
Helves, if you will.
And the Jack in the Box monster, that shit looks terrifying. It's got a really cool like mouth. That's the only way I could say it. It's kind of, I don't even know. It just has like a big open mouth. Like its mouth kind of opens up like Alien.
Yeah.
The Alien.
Justin, what's that mouth
Xenomorphs.
do?
It opens up and swallows, literally.
Oh, okay.
So, but it looks like
Gobble
you
me,
could bite
swallow
too.
me.
Please no.
Is it
So
Cardi
that's-
B? Is Cardi B the Jack in the Box demon?
You know what? As punishment, what do you think of the visuals, Nico?
I really dig them. I haven't seen any other Krampus films, so I don't have much of a comparison point. But like Justin said, the costume design in this movie really is incredible. And Krampus does fit the bill. He's this sort of like half demon, half goat, sort of like abomination with sunken eyes. And he just looks like this really freaky fucking ghoul. And it's just really terrifying. But I also really like the treat for me was in the sort of like the minor little toy demons. Like there's this little teddy bear that just turns into a fucking, I don't know, hell demon and has shark teeth and just completely fucks everyone up. And they're little oddities like that throughout the movie that are just a lot of fun.
All right. And Dan, any visuals we might have missed that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy?
I pretty much agree with everything you said. I mean, I like the costume design, the sort of more toy creatures and the gingerbread men and stuff. I think they look good. Like the CG and everything is great on them. However, I think that I didn't like them. I thought they were pretty hokey, but which is sort of the point, I know. But as far as like the visual aspect of it, the graphics and everything, I thought was actually pretty awesome.
Now, Dan, don't stop there. I want you to
Okay,
tell me
okay.
about the audio. I was thinking about Christmas songs in this movie. We did get a reference to Bing Crosby by one of the characters when they were in a truck car type deal, and the movie opens with a Christmas song as well. But
By Bing Crosby.
as luck would have it, but I'm struggling to think of any other songs really. I mean, I think personally the audio was passable for me. I didn't notice any major things. With props to the sound design for the aforementioned Jack in the Box with the mouth, I thought its screams were very good. I liked the way it sounded.
Agreed.
But how about you?
So a lot of the music is Christmas music, and
okay.
there are variations on different themes or different Christmas songs. So there's Carol the Bells. There's a lot of different Christmas songs that have been rewritten and reworked to fit the mood of the song, or of the scene rather. And I thought that was pretty cool actually, because they took traditional Christmas music, and of course some music is more applicable to horror movies than other. Like Carol the Bells is a little bit more of a dark sounding song than Oh Holy Night or something. So they did a good job of fitting the right Christmas music to the scene while also modifying it to fit even more and kind of varying that a little bit. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Insightful. Nico, how about you?
So I did really like the music. One thing that I will say that I thought was a little bit not really hokey, but sort of took me out of it, were there were times when I thought that just the Foley was really fucking loud. In particular, two scenes. One where Omi just picks up a cleaver, and it's not like she's about to like go fucking town and hack some bitches in half or something. She just literally picks up a cleaver, and it's like shing, like goddamn, okay, she's got a knife. Chill.
There were a few times throughout that where they threw in like either Foley or like just like canned sound effects that
Yeah.
they made like a little too loud and was like kind of comical. I don't know if they did that purposely or not, but yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the movie is a comedy as well as
Right.
horror, which we'll talk about that more later. But the other scene that I thought the levels were a bit off is when Beth goes bye bye. I thought that the jingling of the chains for Krampus was like atmospheric at first, but then it just like kept going and building. And I was like, God damn, how loud is this thing?
Now I kind of want to dig into it a little bit. Who can tell me, and this is a message to the class really, who can tell me about Krampus lore? Who is Krampus? Where does he come from? What's his order when he goes to Taco Bell? Nico.
Well, that's what I had for dinner. I can tell you my order.
Yeah, what's your order, Dan?
It's a chalupa box
Okay.
when they have it.
Oh, true.
Nah, bro, you got to go with the value menu. Cheesy bean and rice burrito. Each one is $1 to $1.20. Bro,
Can we get a moment of silence for the spicy potato tacos though?
damn.
Anyway, so Krampus, he is a figure who is often sort of cast alongside, old Saint Nick. He comes naturally during the Christmas season, and his sort of like geographical origin is more Central European in nature. There is thus more of that sort of aesthetic and atmosphere to it, which you can kind of see it bleed in a little bit with the fact that Omi and Tom speak German in the movie, sort of kind of like as a reference to the lineage there. But there are some festivals related to Krampus, like Krampusnacht, which happens on December 5th, the evening before Feast of St. Nicholas, where Krampus is actually the one who will be giving out coal and taking care of the bad kids, as it were.
Dan, what can you really tell me about what Krampus looks like?
Yeah, I think the movie did a good depiction of him. I mean, he's usually like a half goat-like horned creature with some human face and other sort of human characteristics as well, but definitely devilish looking.
I mean, he is as another movie called Krampus calls him, the Christmas devil for sure.
His horns are
But-
fucking sick.
They are pretty sick. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit about what, we've talked about before, or alluded to before, I should say, which is the genre balance. Well, first off, let's lead off with this. Is this movie scary at all?
No.
Nah.
No. All right. So it's not really scary, but this movie is marketed / listed as a comedy / horror. Where does this balance fall for you? Because we've talked about horror comedies before. Would you consider this to be a horror comedy, Dan, first off? And if so, where's the balance?
I consider a horror / comedy / Christmas movie because I feel like Christmas movies
Wow.
sometimes are their own kind of genre a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think this split the bill pretty evenly. I mean, the first half of the movie is like not horror like at all. It's like a straight up Christmas movie. Like, hey, it's Christmas time. The movie starts with they're at a Christmas play at school, and they talk a lot about sort of underlying themes of what is Christmas and, family and tradition like that. And then, of course, Krampus comes down and he's there because they gave up on the spirit of Christmas. So there's a lot of like Christmas themes and things that you typically find in Christmas movies. And then the second half is really where we get into the horror part. And I feel like I said, I think it's pretty evenly split for me. I mean, I didn't think it really leaned one way or another.
Okay. Wait a sec. Hang on. I'm getting word now from our Christmas correspondent, Nico. Nico, how is this balance for you?
See, for me, this is just like a fucking straight up dark comedy, if not like black comedy. I don't know if that's the right term. And I was laughing the entire fucking time because it was really satisfying watching these insufferable fucks get what was coming to them. And I realize it's kind of a trope in the slasher genre as well, but in slashers, it's not really normally too comedic unless they're really going for that angle. There's much more attention paid to the fact that this is just an absolute clusterfuck of a family and that they're all pretty much just goddamn terrible. So watching them just all collectively eat shit was very very cathartic for me. And so I took it really just as a real fucking bleak comedy more than anything else.
All right, this is phase one. I'm gonna draw my cutlass and say this. I did not like the balance of this movie at all. I don't even know. I couldn't call this a comedy. I didn't find this funny at all. I pretty much, there was like one or two off-color jokes that kind of made me chuckle. And to be fair, I didn't even think the base family, you know, Max and his immediate family.
The Engels.
I didn't think they were that bad.
I will say that, like, they're talking about how there's all this marital discord. They looked fine.
Yeah, they didn't.
I mean,
really,
Tom and Sarah they were chilling. Like, there's a
Yeah.
moment where, go ahead, Jess.
Well, I mean, they hinted at, you know, like the dude took, like, being Tom, he took a phone call.
How dare he?
Well, it was, so that night was 3 days before Christmas. So on like December 22nd, he said, yeah, I'll have to take a couple phone calls. I mean, if you want to say that's, you know, terrible, horrible, you're a piece of shit for that, sure. But aside from that, I mean, Max is I think he seems like a cool kid. He just really likes Christmas. He like drop kicked some bully
Talking
into the
shit
manger
about
or something like
Christmas.
that. Yeah, he was like talking shit about Christmas. I was like, damn. Max gave him some Christmas spirit. But I mean, like,
Pause.
I don't know. What?
Pause.
It's like you power up your key and you come on, bro.
No,
hit him with
give
the
you some
Christmas
Christmas spirit.
I'll allow it.
Christmas spirit bomb? Come on, bro. Like Goku did in the Robot Chicken episode.
No,
but
that's
no,
not what I call a Christmas spirit bomb.
I hate you. So, I mean, I don't know. I just wasn't digging the balance so much. Also, I mean, in terms of horror, I mean, to me, and Dan said it before, a lot of the creatures were really hokey. I loved the Jack in the Box monster. It was cool. But come on, bro. You have a guy with a shotgun fighting off gingerbread
That
monsters.
was ridiculous.
Trying to shoot him with a nail gun. And the three of them are like, yeah, go. And they're like shooting him with like the nail gun. And he like shoots a lamp or a lantern or something, an explosive thing. And then like the dog comes and eats him. And I'm like, bruh.
Yeah, and to me, like, it wasn't horror enough to be considered like horror, and it wasn't comedy enough to be comedy for me. It was in like an awkward middle where, like,
You know what?
when the creatures came out and it started being more horror, I wish they had gone one way or another and like committed to being comedy or committed to being more horror.
And to me, the tone of this piece was all over the place. You've got the scenes with Omi and Max. It's like some generally heartwarming type shit. And then Psych just playing like we're not going to be heartwarming at all. And I mean, I'm gonna be real. Let's just talk about the end. Let's just talk about it right now.
All right.
What a pack of shit. I'm sorry, what? The family is stuck in a fucking snow globe? That's the ending you came up with? Bro, hold up. Nico, tell me what you thought about the end. I'm gonna look something up. Tell me about the end.
I mean, personally, I would have loved it if they had ended it when Krampus just fucking tosses Max into
Same.
the pit. I think that would have been fucking hysterical, but I don't think that they had the balls to do that. That's like a little too dark. But I don't know. Like, I think it is fitting that they have to spend an eternity in this, what is more or less, you know, purgatory / their own little personal hell, because they're fucking stuck there with each other. And I can't imagine being stuck forever with, you know, extended family for that long. I mean, God, that sounds like a nightmare to me.
All right, bro, let me break it down for you. $15 million they had to make this movie. And that was the ending they came back with. Bro, if you gave me $500 to write that ending and I gave you that ending, you slap the shit out of me. You'd be like, wait, so the family escapes, they all disappear except for the kid, and he takes it to the logical conclusion of, I'm sorry that I was an asshole, which he really wasn't, but I'm sorry, I wish
he
my family
wasn't.
was gone, and I'm sorry about XYZ. I take it back. Please forgive me. Throws him in the pit to hell. And then he would wake up the next day and be with his family and maybe just get the bell as a reminder of what could happen, but then keep living. Because I mean, damn. That's the best ending y'all could come up with? And what a shit fucking jump scare at the end with the little animals, or not animals, Christmas buddies.
I liked
or whatever the
that.
fuck they were.
Christmas buddy?
Fuck out of here with that. But let's be balanced now. Dan, what do you think about the ending?
I don't like it. I'm mostly there with you.
Yeah.
And like, I know you said this kind of ironically, Nico, but I do actually wish the movie ended with.
Oh no,
being
I do
tossed
genuinely wish it ended there. I wasn't fucking around.
I feel like that would be the horror ending. If they were like, yes, this is a horror movie, that's how it would end. Because I also like the sort of idea that one thing we didn't really talk about is Omi, when she was a child, Krampus came and did the same kind of shit to her family.
That animation in that scene was fantastic.
That was
by
pretty
the
cool.
way. I just
liked
want to
that a
say
lot.
that.
I did like that.
So she had this Christmas, the little Krampus bell to remind her of that. And then now a couple generations later, the same thing is happening. Christmas has been forgotten in the family, that kind of thing. So
Because those darn liberals.
I kind of would have liked the sort of when at the end when Max is like, I take it all back, I'm sorry, take me instead, whatever. And Krampus is like, nah, it's too late. It's too late. Like you and not necessarily him, but the family has had, warning before. We've done this already. It's too late. But yeah, the whole like sort of stuck in a snow globe kind of thing. I don't like it. I don't fuck with it.
Did the core family really do anything wrong though?
Not really.
They just
Not
kind of
really.
suffered. It was all the extended family that were just being shitty about everything.
Okay, to be fair to the extended family, like, they're just like general dicks for the most part. Like, the brother-in-law just thinks that Tom's a little bit of like a weakling, or like not really manly or whatever like that. For all intents and purposes, Sarah and her sister get along fine.
See, I don't really think it's one family was shitty. It's just two families that are very different from each other, and they just don't get along. Because like the in-law family, or the sister's family, whatever, they just have a more sort of crude, crass humor than the main family, which is fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. It's just they're incompatible.
Their kids fucking suck though.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair,
do they? What did they do wrong?
They bullied Max.
Yes, the bullying part. Yes, that's the shitty part. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But as far as like within that family, they didn't do anything wrong. Like they wrestle with each other, and like I just think it's two different styles of families. And again, I totally agree with the bullying part. Yes.
Yeah.
So here's a question, and this really doesn't necessarily need an in-depth discussion, but there was an interesting clip that played on the news when Tom turned on the TV. There was a little segment about the war on Christmas. Now, given the message of this movie that if you don't believe in Christmas, Krampus is going to get that ass. Do you think this was a message to, own the libs?
I fucking hope that was the intent. Oh God, I hope that was the intent. That would make my goddamn week if someone was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a horror movie to own them liberal cooks.
All those snowflakes.
All those fucking.
Was Tom, and they built snowmen. What do you build snowmen from? Snowflakes.
Snow.
And also, okay, but what do you get
Where are
snow
the
from?
snow women?
How do they multiply?
They're gone like the Entwives.
I'm
But no,
sorry.
so-
Oh yeah, no, that was a thing.
So, besides that though, and I don't mean to harp on the topic, would you say that was kind of like a kind of more conservative style family visiting a more liberal style family? They did make one mention of, why do the rich people get so much free shit? Liberals. And see, I don't even know if that news clip was meant to be like a kind of like a commentary or a
Wait,
twist.
can we talk about that scene again? Because there is a point where they get this like fucking Santa sack full of shit, and the DHL guy is like, I don't know, must have been from the guys in brown. And then they bring it in and nothing fucking happens to that. They just have this big ass sack of shit in their house.
Oh, bro, by the way, how much did DHL pay for that advertisement,
Yeah,
bro?
right.
Yo,
to
real
like
talk.
subconsciously prime you that DHL will deliver your shit. And to be fair,
Insert
they did
DHL
deliver.
ad here.
They did deliver
This review sponsored by.
my displate metal posters that were free, not bent, and arrived in great condition. The quality was no, but I mean like it. Bro, let's be real though.
That's a twofer. That's DHL and Displate.
I know.
Yo.
Good job.
I try. Hashtag no sponsors.
Please give us money.
So, but I think that Dan is secretly a genius. Not you, Nico. Not yet.
That's
Soon.
fair. That's fair.
But Dan, you mentioned this happened to Omi in the past. Could Omi have done more? Could she have maybe seen the signs?
I was thinking about that during the movie. I feel like yes, but what could she have really done? I mean, if we were hanging out at Christmas and I told my family like, yeah, there's this thing called Krampus is coming to fuck us up, they'd be like, what? So, I mean, she should have said more, but I don't think it really would have made too much of a difference.
I agree, but maybe, she says keep the fire hot. So at that point in time, she knows that they got to keep the fire warm.
She should have kept that fucking fire warm herself.
The fire goes out. I was like, damn.
Pretty
Dan,
quick.
you remember the one time we lit that fire and that bitch would not go out?
Yeah.
And I was like, all y'all had to, and by the way, that fire was dead. But as soon as one of those like the embers or whatever got out, bro, that Christmas tree lit the fuck up in like 2.1 seconds. I timed it. The whole Christmas tree was ablaze.
Damn, that's fast.
It was pretty fast. So, well, first off, let me not go ahead and skip over your kinetic genius, Nico.
Oh.
So do you agree with Omi basically doing everything she could?
I mean, I think that I don't know to what extent she was already aware of the like fuckery that was going on, because we don't really see the turning point in the movie. Like you guys said, this is, for the first half of it, pretty much just a fucking Christmas movie. So there weren't really any telltale signs that there were some, demonic shenanigans afoot. I don't think she could have done anything else.
Yeah, I mean, she started acknowledging or understanding what was going on once the blizzard started. She started to be like on edge and understand, or at least think it was going that way.
Right.
But aside from like it being a crazy blizzard, like you said, like it wasn't any like supernatural shit.
Winter, do be snowing.
All right. So how about this? And I will say this, right? So Omi, I feel like there's a 0% chance that she didn't tell this story to Tom.
Agreed.
Like growing up or whatever else. And even Max, because she seems really close with Max. And I'm like, I don't know. That I feel like more people would have suspected, especially Max, who's like in love with Christmas.
But
If she told him,
but do you think she would tell him and ruin the Christmas spirit for him?
would that ruin? If someone told me like, yo, you best believe, or Krampus coming, like I'd be like, Krampus is coming.
Right, but that puts a really evil, negative spin on it, Like you're believing out of fear and not because you love it.
Yeah.
You're
It's like
afraid.
have a
Metaphor?
holly jolly Christmas versus have a holly jolly Christmas.
Yep.
All right.
Exactly.
The demons. So let's now go ahead and take a free kick from the opposite corner, maybe. They oftentimes talk about Max as being culpable or responsible for this. At least towards the end, it's kind of hinted at that. And when Omi tells her story, she was like, it's because I stopped believing. And as soon as Max stops believing, everything goes wrong. Why is this on Max?
It's on Max because similarly to in the sort of like story sequence where Omi is telling her story about her experience, she mentions that she wished for all the fighting in her family to stop and for her family to just like go away. So Krampus is like, I bet. And then he pulls through and, the predictable thing happens. And similarly, Max, at the very beginning of the movie, right during the dinner scene, he's like, I want you all to go away. So in that very literal sense of like, oh yeah, he did do that. He is culpable, but like morally, fuck no, he isn't really responsible.
I mean, and Dan, I meant to ask you this before, but what did you think about Max's whole letter to Santa Claus? I mean, that was a pretty selfless letter.
It was.
Man
It was
wasn't
hella
even
selfless.
wasn't even like, I want a PlayStation 5. Like, no, Max was like, I wish my parents would, stop fighting and spend more time together. I wish my sister would hang out with me more. And I was like,
It
damn.
was really fucking sweet.
And then he was like, I wish things weren't so hard for my aunts and uncles, so maybe you could give them a hand on days that aren't Christmas.
It's
like, damn.
super, super heartbreaking.
And you want to know
honestly.
what? Like, even his cousins that were reading the letter, surely they would be like, all right, I feel like shit. Even a bully would feel like shit reading that when like, oh, this kid just wanted the best for us.
You would think that.
Yeah, but I can see how they would feel insulted too. I mean, like, they probably feel like they're doing okay. Yeah, times are tough, but like, their pride is people. Like,
I mean, true, but also let's go ahead and flip the script here. I wish things weren't so hard, but yo, he got the Land Rover. Like that was a really, oh, sorry, it wasn't a Land Rover. It was a Hummer. I got my product
Hummer,
placement wrong.
yeah.
But he got a Hummer, but not only that, he got the decked out shotgun, the tactical flashlight on that joint.
Yeah.
It's in a nice pull-out drawer too.
yeah.
Although he might have made that himself. So I don't know. The point is, I don't want to blame Max. I don't want to blame Max, guys.
Yeah.
I
I feel like Max is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like
Yeah.
the whole family was culpable, but him giving up on Christmas was the catalyst, I guess.
All right. So we talked about Christmas a lot, given that it's Christmas this week, and also this is a Christmas movie. But what if it wasn't? Let's say, for example, so the same plot elements were kept. Maybe, like, let's just say instead of Christmas, it's
Family reunion, maybe?
exactly like it's a family get together, and then when the family does it, they treat each other like shit. I don't know, name it. Nico, you're good at naming demons. Give me a demon name.
Okay. Fucking Sahagins from Final Fantasy X. The little fish fuckers, dudes. The ones who come to you when you're in Luca and fuck up the blitzball match, like they show up.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I like Justin's like, Nico, you're good at naming things. Nico plagiarizes something else.
Hey, man. Plagiarism is the highest form of flattery. And if any of my students are listening, don't fucking do it. I'll catch you, I swear to God.
That's why I'm gonna name my firstborn son Blitzball. But no, so
Or just Blitz. Blitz.
A middle name Ball.
Yeah.
Blitzball. Almost said your last name on air.
Blitzball Jr. Pass yourself over here right now. But no,
Do the jet
Anyhow.
shot.
let's say that, this was a demon that for sure would just show up if your familial bonds were, tenuous. And that's kind of what this movie was about. Would this hold up if it wasn't a Christmas movie? Do you think, Dan?
I feel like it would actually be better because I think a lot of the hokiness to me came from the over Christmas aspect of it, like the
Right.
little gingerbread man and all this kind of stuff. So I feel like it could still very easily be not great, but I think it has a better chance of being better if they have more sort of creative freedom to step outside of Christmas.
All right. I mean, I could see that. From my perspective, I actually disagree with you. I think that
Oh.
this movie, the little spark of life that it has is from Christmas to me. And I can't really think of, even if it was the situation I described, I just kind of feel like having a thematic horror movie automatically makes it a little bit better. It's like it gets a, like a same type attack bonus type deal. When it's
true.
a Christmas movie around Christmas time, it makes the movie automatically a little bit better, particularly for, horror fans, because no spoilers, we might be able to find a different horror movie based around a Christmas theme, but there's a ton of them.
No, there's no other Christmas horror movies. This is the
Not a
only
single
one.
Well, I mean, like they're mostly Krampus movies in some way, shape, or form. A ton of them are Krampus movies. A large majority, a decent amount, you would say.
I'm going to challenge that claim. I think you're full of shit.
All right, I just Googled it, and it says Nico's full of shit.
Oh, well, all right. If that's peer-reviewed, that's peer-reviewed.
Damn Google.
That's how it works. I am a professor, and that is how that works.
But can you tell me, Nico, if you think the Christmas theme makes it better or if it could stand alone?
I think that it could stand alone. I think that the tensions that the family feels are certainly exaggerated because of the holidays, and holidays aren't necessarily a great time for everyone. I wanted to put that out there and acknowledge that that is certainly a valid standpoint. I think that I agree with Dan. I think it would be stronger if it wasn't a Christmas movie. If instead we had, some sort of deep family secret where instead of like, oh, I was really sad on Christmas and, and stuff, so this like goat fucker came and killed my dad. I think if there was some sort of, deeper, dirty laundry in the family's history, almost like kind of a gothic thing, I think that could have worked a little bit better.
I'm sorry, did you say goat fucker?
He is a goat and a fucker.
Okay, I'll take that. You meant goat.
I'm sure he probably fucks goats.
No, you said
He's got
goat.
hooves and shit. Certainly his parents were goat fuckers. Given the whole,
Yeah.
You're digging this hole. Just keep digging.
Hey, man. It's a hole that should have ended the movie with Max being thrown into it.
Dan, what were you going to say?
I was going to say it also depends on what direction we want the movie to go. Because I think if my answer was more towards the horror aspect, getting a more horror movie, I would think it would be cool to step outside of Christmas. But a more comedy, I think that keeping the Christmas spirit in it, to me, makes it a little bit more comedy or less horror, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense to me, I guess. But now it's time for our holiday. What would you do? So we're going to go ahead and set the scene here. It's the three of us having like a Christmas celebration, Christmas Day, whatever, with the crew. And all of a sudden we open up, because we're staying at like, I don't know, an Airbnb or some shit. And in the house, there's a book about Krampus. So we learn up and we read up about Krampus. And then I guess, I don't know, like we do something. I don't really think us beefing with each other is going to start Krampus, but I don't know, maybe like you weren't supposed to. We do something wrong and Krampus comes. First off,
we piss on hospitality. That's what we do.
We pissed on hospitality,
You don't
I
piss
guess.
on hospitality.
And so the Airbnb we're staying in is exactly like the house the other people were staying in. And there's a whiteout and there's a blizzard.
Wow.
And
This is a real creative situation, bud.
And so, first off, if we were stuck in the house, no power, no phones, no cell phones, and it's like a whiteout outside, what would you do? Survival expert Dan?
Read a book.
What would you do?
I would just fucking
Read a book?
I don't know. We didn't go over this scenario in middle school. I mean, I guess I would fucking go hunting. I mean, if they're almost out of food.
Shit.
So you gotta get some food. Gotta keep that fireplace warm too. Warm up the house.
I know, keep it hot.
I would also have a radio. I always have a radio on hand, like a weather radio, a crank radio, so you can crank it up.
Bro, you ain't got no fucking radio.
Fuck out of here. My dad got me one, bro, when I was in like middle school.
What?
Yeah, I got that.
Bro,
joint.
you still got the radio though?
Yeah.
But do you have it on you?
It's in my basement right now, in my storage unit downstairs.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, you just gotta crank that up and you get power to it.
All right.
Yeah, I would not let my daughter, if we were in this thing, I would not let her walk a couple blocks down the road in the fucking middle of a big ass blizzard where you can't see even across the street.
Well, you know what killed me about that?
Anybody
He was
do
like,
that.
yeah, well, he was like, oh, she'll be fine. But wait, why didn't you just ask your brother-in-law to give her a ride?
Yeah.
Wait, hold up.
Only when she goes missing.
Wait,
Yeah, only when she
hold
goes
up.
missing. Then he's like, yeah, but I mean, like, dude is out here in like a Hummer. And also, by the way, can I just say, it was really weird how, like, all the neighbors were gone, true, but that entire neighborhood was vacated.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see another person.
It was pretty convenient.
aside from the DHL guy who busted through even Krampus to get to where he needed to go. I mean, DHL is just a great service.
You can fucking rely on DHL. They will get your shit there, hell or high water.
But they also deliver Krampus shit because those presents were where the fucking Christmas buddies came out of.
For other list of services, you can check out DHL.com.
So do we really want to use DHL when they fucking deliver Krampus
Well,
shit?
to be fair, I think Krampus just left his sack of joy right there.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right.
Is that the parlance we're using?
So anyhow, now let's
Goaty's sack of joy.
Let's say the Christmas friends were attacking us, like in the house. Like there was some gingerbread motherfuckers. There was the Jack in the Box guy, and then there was also the elves from hell. All right. So first off, who amongst our crew would you pick to fight the Jack in the Box?
I think you, Justin.
You.
Yeah.
Because you're so fucking enamored with it.
All right. Well, Nico, I pick you to fight the gingerbread men because you're just gonna eat them.
Yeah,
You fuck.
straight up.
Can we just say, hold up, slight aside, there was a kid who got kidnapped by one of the gingerbread men. Yo, this greedy motherfucker, this gingerbread man just came down from the fireplace like, oh, and
Literally
he
like
ate
that.
him. He ate him. And then when the gingerbread man like came alive and started wrapping him up in chains, he didn't even scream.
I mean,
Also, fuck out of here. If you woke up in the middle of the night and your fireplace had a gingerbread cookie hanging from a chain,
fucking
would
chain
you
rattling,
really
yeah.
fucking do that? Nah, bro.
Nah.
So who the fuck tied up a gingerbread cookie on a chain and hung it from our fucking chimney?
The kid gets a fucking Darwin Award for sure.
I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. And like they made fun of him like earlier on in the movie. They were like, oh, he's just like stupid or something. But I think he was normal. I think he just didn't want to talk to anyone.
He literally doesn't talk the entire movie.
Yeah, I just think he didn't want to talk to anyone. Because he had his
don't blame
big
him.
ass Mountain Dew when he was having dinner.
Yeah.
Little homie had the fucking 2-liter all to himself.
I don't know.
He didn't
But
pour it
lastly,
into a glass. He just fucking raw dogged that shit.
Is that the parlance we're going with here?
You know what? How about you shut your whore mouth?
Wow.
Wow. And you want to know what else is wow? Those elves from hell. So Dan, you by default have to fight the elves from
Great.
hell. But we gotta like jump in and back you up. So here's a question. So we're fighting the elves from hell, then Krampus steps in the door. Are we just fucked?
Yeah.
Probably.
Or would you try to like run away from Krampus?
I would run. I wouldn't try to fight that, to be honest. I would try to run. Probably still be
Yo.
fucked because Krampus, but yeah.
I mean, Nico, I feel like we could Bloodborne Krampus, bro. Like I distract him from the front and then you just
Dodge
get him with the
roll?
backstabs.
Yo,
get him with the
true.
backstabs.
Visceral attacks. I'm down, bro.
But in any case, I mean, realistically though, if confronted with a Christmas demon, your only option is to really run, right, guys?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look.
Apologizing didn't do shit.
No, and I never would have apologized. I'd have been like, yo, Krampus, hey, you ugly as shit, Krampus.
Bro,
Fuck your bitch and the click you click.
I would have done either that or fucking O'Reilly's shit.
Again, the Riley speech.
Fuck your
from Boondocks.
reindeer. Fuck your Christmas buddies. My present is black. My Lambo is blue.
Or it's Hummer's blue, I guess.
Yeah.
True. But now let's go ahead and do you guys have any criticisms that you would, well, aside from the ones we've talked about at length? Mine is just, again, even though I said it already, I'm going to say it again. Because if I said it, then I meant it. So, yeah, dude, I just don't fuck with this tone of this movie. I felt like it was kind of inching at times towards the whole, like, just have Christmas spirit, kids. And then it was like, no, just kidding. You can't escape Krampus.
Which,
To hell
can
with
we
you.
talk about the whole shit that Omi was saying? It's not about what you do, it's about what you believe. The fuck kind of message is that? Like, you can just be a complete and total fucking asshole as long as you're like, wow, I sure have good thoughts in my mind. Like, no. It's not how this works.
Well, that was a criticism for sure, Nico. Dan, any criticisms from you? Aside from what we've already gone over.
I mean, mostly that. I agree with you on the tone being kind of all over the place. I wish it would have picked one genre or subgenre and kind of gone with it and yeah, maybe have elements of comedy, but still a horror movie or vice versa, you know. Yeah.
All right. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the critic review. So this movie has a 66% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got a 51% from the audience. So definitely one of the lower movies that we've reviewed on this pod. On a scale from 1 to 100, Nico, where does this rank for you, really?
Honestly, this is the kind of movie that is fun to watch and just pick apart as you're going through it. It's not a bona fide horror classic. It's not a bona fide comedy classic. It's what I call stupid fun, where you can just turn your brain off if you're capable of doing that when you're, watching these kinds of things. So I would give this, and I mean this not in a negative way, I mean this in a surprisingly charitable way, I would give this a 60.
Oh, Dan, how about you?
Lower than you thought.
That was lower than I thought, actually.
That was lower than I thought.
I would give it a 45.
Oh, shit.
Which, 50 is an okay movie. So it's slightly less than okay to me.
All right. Well, I was going to say, because Nico, you set the bar, and I was going to make a reference to I'm Trini, and we invented limbo, and I was going to limbo under your bar.
Oh, yeah?
But
Limbo
I was
under
going
my
to give
bar now.
Yeah.
No, I actually can't. In all seriousness, I was actually, believe it or not, going to give it a 45.
Oh, okay.
And you know what was funny? I was going to give it a 50 up until the end. And then I just I'm talking about like after we find out they're in a crystal ball. I was like, all right, 50. And then the little friends come out. And I was like, nope, 45. So, I don't know, man. We talked about the tone. We talked about a lot of it. Nico said it was stupid fun. I just think it's stupid. And, they had some real star power here. We had, the guy from Parks and Rec. We had Toni Collette. And there was more than just them. Like, there was a couple real decent, star power here. And
the acting's good, I would say.
It was, but it's kind of like, congrats, your sports car can go 40 miles an hour, but you didn't push it. Like, come on, man. Like they had some real people there to pull off some real roles. And I don't know, the whole thing was kind of dumb. I would have forgiven it if it was one of those Christmas movies where it was like, and then everybody learned their lesson. I'd have taken that. I'd have taken that. Aside from this horseshit snow globe Christmas friend jump out the pits of hell bullshit.
It's goat shit, actually.
Goat shit.
Yeah.
But Dan, did you have anything else you wanted to say about it, or have you kind of spoken your piece?
I feel like this also almost suffered from actors' renown or previous roles, I guess, because like you said, Adam Scott is from Parks and Rec, mainly, of Parks and Rec fame, and I can't remember his name, but the brother-in-law is
David Koechner.
Yes, he's from The Office, of Office fame, I should say, because obviously they're both in other things as well. So, going into it, to me, pretty much no matter what, they were going to have those roles. And even in these scarier moments, I'm still watching Parks and Rec and The Office characters do this. So especially...
Would you say that they were typecast?
I think David Koechner's character was.
I can't think of a single character he plays that isn't like that character,
right.
To be fair.
Yeah. Adam Scott did a good job of playing the role that, he was put in here. Good but I don't know. I think it's really hard for an actor to kind of get out of a role like that when they're sort of known for something like that. And of course, speaking of The Office, you have John Krasinski, but I think he's done a really good job of stepping out of that Office,
I actually agree.
Hole that people
like fucking imagine A Quiet Place if it had the whole like smarminess that Jim had the entire time.
Right.
Like you cut away to like, I don't know, he's making the fucking little ear implants, the oral implants, and then he's like, there's a short circuit, and he just does that little fucking smirk where he's like, well, guess I'm gonna turn to the camera now. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say real quick, I apologize for this. I did not realize that. Conchata Ferrell, she played I think she was an aunt of the extended family.
Yeah.
Who comes in. So I didn't realize she passed away in October, very recently.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, so that's an RIP to her. I did not realize at all that she had recently passed away. But yeah, I was gonna say she's another person who I thought was maybe a little bit typecast in some of her roles as kind of like a more gruff older character at times.
Yeah.
But in any case, that's been our ranking. So now let's just get down to it. Would you recommend this to a friend? Nico,
I would,
you would?
under the
Okay.
specific context that you watch it to rip it apart.
And would it be a Christmas time film, or would they be able to watch this not Christmas?
I think you could watch this in just like any time of year, honestly.
All right. Dan, would you recommend this one to a friend not Christmas time?
No.
Does Christmas time make it watchable for you?
A little bit more, but I think there's better ones out there that I would rather recommend.
All right. This gets a hard pass for me on both. I think there's better ones out there, like you said, Dan. Dan and I wouldn't really recommend this, so this is already not getting the golden seal of approval from any of us, right?
Right.
Right.
Right. But that's been it from us here, at DOTD. We'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas. We would like as well to, if you don't celebrate Christmas, just keep yourself safe during, the air quotes holiday season. And we hope you guys keep yourself safe and stay tuned for what we've got next week, because we got a real banger, you might say. But please, ladies and gents, keep yourselves warm and don't open that door. Bye.